It's Monday, September the 27th, King of the Mountain State Show. I'm Chase Hill. My guest tonight has fought his way into the Final Four of the 2021 King of the Mountain State Light Heavyweight Tournament. He was very impressive in his first round matchup there. He's got a big matchup coming up. Seems to have a lot of momentum. We're excited to have him. AB Arthur Brown.
How you doing? How you doing?
Good, man. Glad to have you on here. Glad to have you in the tournament. First time on the show with me, so let the fans know where you originally from, where you living at.
I'm from Severn, Maryland. It's a city right outside of Baltimore. I lived there pretty much my whole life. I moved away when I was 18 to Calvert County, where I finished up high school at, and then started college out here in Cumberland, Maryland. Is currently where I stay at right now. So that's where I've been living at for the past 3 years or so.
Now, we talked a little bit about you playing some other sports and doing some stuff like that, but you've gravitated toward boxing. You've had you're 22 years old, so it seems like you're kind of new in this, but you've had a bunch of fights at this point already. When was the first time? One of the questions I always ask guys that the fans love to know is like, how did you decide to get into boxing? How did that happen?
Well, first of all, I'm a huge football fan. I played football in high school, and I still do play football right now. I play semi-pro football and I play flag football. But starting off in boxing, I went to Nutricorner Boxing Gym. Shout out to Nutricorner, and I went there for a test trial, and I met Danny Shaw with Corey and Buddy and all those guys out there. They let me work out for free the first day, and I liked it, and I came back, and I kept coming back as to train for football in the off season. But I started to pick it up pretty well, and I started to like it, and so I just stuck with the boxing for a little bit, and then it turns out that everybody thought I was pretty good at boxing, and I was striving more than the other guys were in the gym, so I just decided to stick with boxing, and here we are right now.
Yeah, and you're doing well with it. I mean, I props to Danny Shaw. I've talked about him on my show a couple times with what he's been able to do with getting guys involved. Like
Right.
one of the biggest hurdles, like for a promoter or a matchmaker that I've had in the past, is just being able to find guys. And Danny's really created something there with the Street Beefs. I know he's not necessarily the main guy, but like what he's did with Neutral Corner and all that's been really good. Tell me about the early on boxing. Like I know you entered some of those semi-pro contests up there. I think you ended up winning one in Clarksburg. Tell me what that was like participating in some of those tournaments.
Man, it's a lot of heartbreaks, man. Like the first couple times like the first three I lost. I came in third place, and then the third one I came in second place, and it was like, man, it was like, man, I fight so hard, and for the end, almost for nothing really. So I mean, I almost kind of like wanted to get away from it a little bit, but then I won the Clarksburg one on my fourth try, and man, it was like a dream, man. It was just like, man, I won. I knocked off all these guys. Now I'm the champion, and I can come back next year as defending champion. And it's a great feeling, when you work so hard for something and finally be able to accomplish it. Is nothing better than that.
Well, boxing really translates to life, man. You know the cliches of like you get knocked down, you got to get back up. But when you start talking about it training for one of these events and coming up a little short, but then training again, coming up short, like to have the guts to stick with it, to get yourself past that point, to get to where you need to be to win one. Not everybody's got that. So that says something about work ethic and being able to survive in there and that kind of stuff. When you finally do win it, you start doing it, some other stuff that you've gotten some publicity for, the Street Beefs thing. Like you're out there, you've had what, 10, 15 fights. I think they're pretty similar as far as the minutes per round and different stuff like that. So tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about your experiences so far with Street Beefs.
Street Beef has been nothing but positive for me. I meet a lot of great guys, a lot of good fans. I mean, I've even got my foot in the door in a gym in DC one time in the Headbangers gym, but COVID messed it up a little bit, so I haven't been able to actually go in there and work out with some of the pros. But I've had worked with other pros that are in neutral corner boxing, and we have a bunch of good pros that come in. So Street Beats have done nothing but open doors and give me connects to different people on different levels and stuff like that. And Street Beefs ultimately got me here today, where I'm able to fight in this tournament, because a lot of people have been reaching out to me and wanting me to fight in other tournaments and do stuff like that. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity that they've offered me, and I'm taking advantage of everything that comes with it.
Well, and I believe it was Jamie Armel, Space Monkey. I think he's the one who originally said, "Hey, man, you should put AB on there. He's really good."
Right.
You guys, like, people are familiar with you guys. You've gotten a lot of publicity through this. I originally, my heavyweight tournament started off with 16, and I wanted to put 16 together, even though we had a short amount of time at the end of the year. And when I started announcing the names of the guys that were going to fight in the light heavyweight division, when they started seeing you, Keenan, Ladre Stallworth, I could go on and on, Mitchell Reynolds, Bobby Freshness, when they started seeing these names, all of a sudden nobody else wanted in. So we ended up starting, basically in round 2, because people would look at your name, they would look up your fights, you've got them on YouTube, and they weren't interested. So it goes a lot to show about the group that we were able to put together. You've did the semi-pro, you've did the Street Beefs, and now you're a part of our tournament. Your fight that you just won was against Brendan Kelly. He is also he was fighting up a little bit in weight, but he's also been very successful here lately, just mowing guys down, and you controlled the whole fight. What was that like? Tell me a little bit about the fight with Brendan Kelly, the environment, the preparation, 2-minute rounds, knowing you're in there with another good fighter. You look great during the fight. Tell me, what did it look like from your point of view?
For me, I watched some of his Rough and Rowdy fights, and off the gate, I thought that he was just a tad bit out of control, which I expected coming in. And so when we actually touched glove and it was time to fight, and his first couple punches were jabs to the body, and for me, that was like, oh man, I might have been studying the wrong kind of fighter. You know what I'm saying? And I expected for him to brawl a lot and to have a good endurance, which he didn't really have that good endurance, because he got pretty tired in the first round, which was kind of unexpected for me, but it played a big part in my advantage, because I got pretty good conditioning myself, so I'm able to go 6-7 rounds like that. And he tired out pretty fast, and it was just a pretty good fight for me to show my skill after that point. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and you were the bigger guy, longer. You were able to use that reach. You looked like you were boxing. You were very calm in there. I mean, that's another thing that Keenan and I talked about. I know you and him are pretty close there. You know each other well, but just you guys coming in from Street Beefs and the different stuff, I didn't know how you were going to react to the bright lights and the different stuff, the longer minutes, and you guys could totally control it. You said what to me was the surprise of the event, and that was he's the cardio king. Brendan Kelly is the cardio king, world record type cardio, literally has world records for doing different stuff. And after 2 rounds in the ring with you, he had enough. So, I mean, right, that goes a lot to say about what this is like when you're in 2 minutes and you're with a real fighter there. How was your preparation in your camp leading up to that fight? Did you feel good that night?
Yeah, I feel good. I always feel good in my fights. There's never a bad training camp or anything that I've ever had. I stick to the script. I don't really change anything. Just for the fight that's coming up against Mitch, I won't change anything. The tactics are the same. Just go out there and box, feel comfortable, find my rhythm, find my range, and then take care of business as I'm supposed to. But feeling that night especially was good. I feel real good. The crowd was there feeding off of the energy. It was a good event that night.
So you brought it up, but let's talk about it. Your next fight, October 16th, we're less than 3 weeks away. Mitchell Reynolds, probably one of the more dominating guys in the state of West Virginia in the amateurs right now. He's in great shape. He's going to be bigger than Brandon was, but he's kind of the same guy as Brandon as far as his makeup and all that kind of stuff. You've now gotten a chance to watch him. I know you watched him live. You've gotten to see some tape from his other semi-pro stuff like that. What should we expect in the matchup with you and Mitchell Reynolds?
For me, you expect the same thing. My game plan doesn't change unless he comes out and like brawl, you know what I mean? And I don't think he would do that. I think it would be a good boxing match. I've seen a couple flaws in his game that I was able to watch live with against Bobby Freshness, and it was pretty eye opening to me. So I'm excited for that. I'm wondering if he watched this tape enough to notice what I've noticed and all those kind of things. But I'm pretty excited for the fight. I think it can be a good fight, a good boxing match, and probably I think I'm going to win, but it's going to be a good boxing match for sure.
That's a good match. Your ages, your styles, your size, everything kind of matches up really good. We got a great card, but that's a great fight. I've talked about it a lot of times. I think that the Derek Gibson and Matt Adams heavyweight fight is going to be totally awesome. I put you and Mitchell as the second light heavyweight fight, kind of like the main event of it, if you will, because that's a great fight. I think we could fast forward 2 or 3, 4 years down the road, and you guys both might be fighting for big money as pros. So this is a great opportunity to get ready for that. If you do the semi-pro stuff, you do the street beef stuff, you do our tournament, what's next? Are we looking at a pro career coming up for UAB, or is that something you're going to stick around here in the amateurs for a while and see what you can do? What do you think?
The goal is to go pro. I just turned 22, so everyone tells me I shouldn't rush it, but I'm not that kind of guy. I feel like if I'm ready, then I'm ready. But I think I will eventually just stick around in the amateurs for a little bit, maybe like a year or two. But the plan is definitely to go pro, for sure.
Yeah. I've had guys turn pro at the age of 18. I've had guys turn pro at the age of 35, 36. It's not a numerical number as much as it is just a timing thing. When you're ready, when you know your body, when you really grow into it as a fighter and you get enough fights, which you've probably got close to 30 fights or so right now. But whenever you get ready, you'll know when you're ready. And that's something exciting for us to watch you go through all those steps, from the very beginning to this now. You seem to have a pretty good following online. Seems like people are really kind of rallying behind you. Are you seeing some of that support from the fans and stuff as you move through this thing?
Yeah, I am. And I love it. It's awesome to know that there's good people in the world. There's people that support you and there's people that want to see good from you. Like for instance, like on Instagram, I've since I started Street Beefs and stuff, I've gained over like 2,000 followers in just 1 year. You know what I'm saying? And people reach out to me, they ask for advice, they send me their videos and all of that kind of stuff. So the support is awesome. I couldn't ask for anything else from basically strangers. You know what I'm saying? They're all people who do good, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And, I bring it up all the time. I've got guys I went to high school, college with, I'm friends with, business partners with, and whatever, we'll be in this stuff and they don't know you. They don't know Matt Adams. They don't know Keenan. And then all of a sudden they're calling me, texting me about you guys, so I'm watching you all grow these. And myself, like I've known some of these guys for 15, 20 years. I haven't known you that long. So it's been nice to see you kind of come along. It's awesome. Your next fight is less than 3 weeks away. It's down in Welch, West Virginia, very rural area. It's a big venue. It'll hold 2,000 people. Our main event has a state title fight pro that night. It should bring a bunch of people. So this will probably be one of the bigger in-person crowds that you've been in front of. So that's pretty exciting. You do have the match up there with Mitchell. It's you and Mitchell. It's Keenan Williams and Tyler Ainscough. There's 4 guys left. And after a couple of weeks from now, there's going to be 2 of you left. What's it like knowing, and I know this, we did the work. We tried to find the best of the best throughout the whole state and the surrounding area. That's how you ended up in it. What's it like knowing you're in such a small group of elite guys at this time?
It makes me feel good because I'm not familiar with the guy that Keenan's fighting, but all those other guys been fighting longer than me, you know what I mean? So I've only been doing this for 2 years. In November would mark 2 years. So it makes me feel good that I've been able to hang in with the best competition that you've been able to find in the state. And I have nothing to hang my head down about. I'm out here doing what I have to do, and I'm hanging in there with some tough guys, and that shows a lot about me and my growth as being a boxer for such a short period of time.
Your future is very bright. and I'd look forward to watching it. It's awesome. I got lucky. This is not only the best tournament, best events I've ever put together from a fighter aspect, but as a people aspect. The guys who have been a part of this have been really good guys. I think you've got a big future. I'm excited to have you. Thanks for being on the show and being a part of the tournament. Anything else you got for me as far as shout outs or anything you want to have before we wrap this thing up?
I just want to shout out Neutral Corner Boxing, Daniel, Scarface, Corey, Sunshine, all those guys that helped me get here today. Wouldn't be here without y'all. So just big thanks.
Work hard, man. Keep yourself healthy. Get ready for this thing. It's almost 3 weeks away. It's the 16th down there in Welch. Tickets are on sale right now. I look forward to seeing you here in another 2.5 weeks and hopefully another 6 weeks after that. So keep yourself healthy, train hard, man. I'll see you here in a few weeks.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.